guys, welcome back to the Kneady Homesteader channel and
Paul's rule of thumb. Special
guest, Paul. He's here for the weekend. I love
besties back together again.
I know. So today we thought we would, well, tonight, because it's a little dark, but without the light, we're not so yellow. So
we're a little shiny at our age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, little. Anyway, we wanted to bring you this video because we hadn't seen anybody else do this video where Tattler Lids and Harvest Guard lids are compared side by side. And so we have been hearing from a lot of people out in the canning world that these lids were identical, the same, interchangeable, completely interchangeable. So we were curious because I have Tattlers.
And I bought the Harvest Guard.
Right, and I want to buy the Harvest Guard. I want to buy the red ones for tomato sauce. So, so we thought, okay, well, bring some lids. I mean, is that normal? Is that normal to say to somebody, hey, bring some lids over?
Nothing about what we do is normal.
Bring your lids over in this 6-hour car ride.
Right.
So he brought his lids over, and we are going to take you to the counter under the lights where it's a little brighter so you guys can actually see the comparison, because we were quite surprised by what we saw.
Right, because they're really similar, but enough difference that we think it's significant. So we wanted to be able to show you in as much detail as possible and really put them side by side, because just talking about it and seeing pictures of it, because we had both seen pictures of them.
Right.
But really putting them next to each other, you can feel the weight, you can see the thickness. There is a significant difference. And
let's make note that you did talk to the owner of Harvest Guard.
I did. I talked to Harvest Guard. I'm not sure if it was the owner,
or
but
at least it was one of the guys in the office,
directly with their customer service. I will say the customer service at Harvest Guard is fantastic.
That's what you said.
Emailed them, gotten an immediate response. I've called them, I've gotten an immediate response. And I said to them, you know, I just want to know if I had Tattler lids previously, would these work the same, and are they interchangeable? And they said yes, that they are interchangeable. So based on their information, you could mix them. Based on our review, I think we're thinking not. So
I'm thinking not.
We'll let you decide for yourselves. We'll show you the difference.
And we'll show you the difference. All right, let's take you over to the counter.
Okay, so we have the lids here. We tried to bring it in as tight as possible. So these are the Tattler lids and these are the Harvest Guard. Now, immediate reaction is, well, they look identical, which they do from, you know, a quick glance. But you can see there's a little bit of color difference in the gaskets. That's the first difference. Now, if we take the lids out and we just focus on the gaskets themselves, the gaskets are pretty close. The thickness of them is identical. Yes. We have them flat on the counter.
You can't feel a difference.
You can't feel the difference. If you put them on top of each other, I think it was this way, you can just see the slightest difference. Can you see that right there?
See that?
It's hard to see. I mean, it's so minuscule. But the red rings from the Harvest Guard are ever so slightly bigger. I mean, we're talking millimeters. So as far as the gaskets go, that's the biggest difference between them. And we'll show you once they're on the lids, you'll be able to see a little bit more of a difference.
Is it the Harvest Guard that's bigger, or is it the Tattler that's slightly bigger?
The Harvest Guard is bigger.
The Harvest Guard is, okay.
No, I take that back. You're right. The Tattler is bigger.
The Tattler one,
yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so let's slide these aside and bring these back. Okay, so the first difference you can see is actually from the front of these lids. So you can see the Tattler, first of all, these are the easy seals, so they have this indent right here. Can we see? Oh, there, you can see it.
There you go.
Okay, so that is the most significant difference between the two.
And that's what they consider their easy seal.
Right. Now, you can also see the slope of the lid is kind of a gentler slope as opposed to this, which is a more defined edge to it.
Much more It's much more
pronounced.
steep. Yeah. It's a more of a steeper.
Now, just to back up a little, our understanding from what we've been told at this point is the Harvest Guard is what was the original Tattler lid. The original design of the Tattler lid has now become the Harvest Guard, and the Tattler lids are the easy seal design that they came out with after years of production of these. They have now separated into two different companies, one run by the father, that being the Tattler, and one run by the son, which is the Harvest Guard.
To what we know. What we've been told by several people.
Just, so, you know, that's the story we've gotten. And that's what we're sticking to. Now, the other difference is probably the thickness of the plastic. And this is going to be really hard to show you guys.
Let's see if I can get that to focus. I think we're right there. Yep, we got it.
Okay, so you can see the Tattler lid is significantly thicker than the Harvest Guard. And when you feel them in your hand, I mean, it's a noticeable difference between the two. And
you can also see your hand through.
Oh, yeah. Can we show that?
Through the... And this isn't to say one is better than the other. We're just showing you guys the difference.
Right, because everybody, I mean, we both experienced many, many comments about, do you know what the difference is?
Right.
Do you know what's the difference? So, you know, this is just kind of our take on what the difference is. Now, the reason why we say, or we think, that they are not interchangeable is when you put the Tattler gasket on the Tattler lid, it goes right to the edge of the lid. Like, you can't see the white edge of the lid. Okay? But when you put the Harvest Guard gasket on there, it just shows...
It's almost, I don't want to say it bows a little bit, but it's snug.
Yeah.
It's snug.
Yep. Whereas if you do that on the Harvest Guard,
if you put the,
you can see here.
Can you see that?
Can you see the gap?
Okay, there you can definitely see it now. You pointing that out. Oh yeah, you can see that. Can you see that? Can you guys see that? So it is big. It's bigger on the Harvest Guard. That's the Tattler gasket on the Harvest Guard, and you can definitely see that.
Now the question is it a significant enough difference that it won't work? We don't know the answer to that. Neither of us is, quite frankly, interested in finding out.
Right.
But, you know, as far as can you just interchange your product, our opinion is...
You see the difference? I mean, that fits that lid like perfection.
Yeah.
And that one fits that one perfection. Now, and here's the thing, because there's a lot of people that struggle, I mean, us included, right? Sometimes we struggle with the lid, you know, getting these to seal, right? Because you have to crank them down a certain time, you know, you have, when you bring them out, you crank them down, you have to do the fingertip tight and then kick it back a little. There's so much that goes into getting these to seal. For me, interchanging the gaskets would just be something I just wouldn't want to do.
Too much of a risk.
Yeah, it's not something that I personally would want to do. Doesn't mean that it wouldn't work.
Now, let's talk about one more thing. This is purely just preference, but when I get a product, I want it to be the best quality product, the best presented product, and the most professional experience I can have, okay? Heather ordered her Tattler lids.
Yeah, here, we'll put it out of the, I know, sorry for the glare, guys.
Oh, the glare,
we have you under the, on the counter for the best lighting. So, my instructions came like this. This is actually a copy because my original instructions were damaged. I mean, it was wrinkly, it was torn. So what I did is I had to make a copy with my copier, and then I went ahead and I laminated it. So it didn't come laminated, and it did come pretty beat up. And so I laminated it so that I wouldn't, you know, lose it and damage it while I'm canning in case I needed to look back on the directions for using the lid. I do that with everything though. That's the homeschool mom in me. But Harvest Guard, this beautiful, I mean, honestly, this is something, look at the size. Of course, this is a letter, right? Letter size. This is much smaller. This is something you could hang on your fridge.
It's like, cardstock.
Yeah, you could put this in your pantry and hang it, you know. I mean, it's double-sided. It gives you helpful hints and other information. I just loved the presentation. I loved the logo, and I loved everything about this, you know, versus this. So again, not, you know, super important, but it's the little things. Right. It's the little touches. And I definitely, now I went ahead and I laminated his as well while he was here. So his just came on cardstock, but it was cardstock versus a sheet of ditto paper. And it's just I hate myself when I say that, but it's just the thought that went into making a usable size card. Absolutely. You know, you can pull this out. It's not taking up space on your counter. You know, you can stand it up. Like, even without it being laminated, it was cardstock, so it would stand up. Exactly. Anywhere in your kitchen you can. And like I said, you can stick it on your fridge. It's small enough. This is not, you know, it's a piece of copy paper. Yeah. And like I said, not everybody has a laminator. No. And mine came damaged. Yeah. So Tattler, if you're watching this, right. We like this. Right. So our point here wasn't to show one over another. Right. We just wanted to give you the full breadth of information and let you make your choice. And the difference between the two, I mean, you do see through, like, you can definitely see your fingers through this plastic. So this plastic is definitely thinner, okay, than this plastic, which is a much thicker, meatier, I mean, you can feel it. Yep. So for everybody who asked us, what's the difference between the two? Are they the same? We didn't know, because I've only had Tattlers, and I've never seen the Harvest Guard. You've never had a Tattler, you've only seen the Harvest Guard. Yep. So that's why we wanted to get them together and show them to you guys. And then that way you can decide which one you want to go with. For me, I've started with Tattler. I've had Tattler now for 5 years. I think 5 years. I think that's when I did my original green bean video. I don't want to have to worry, you know, which I still want the, I'm not even gonna lie, I still want the red lids. But like we were talking about, if I get the red lids from Harvest Guard, I will keep them separate. So really when I'm canning tomatoes, I will only be using the red lids with the red gaskets, and I will keep those separate because I'm not confident that they are as interchangeable, or that I would want to take a risk with it. That's my opinion. Let us know. If you have both and you interchange them, let us know down in the comment section. Do you have any problems with your seals? Do they seal just as easily being interchangeable? Because we're noticing just slight difference in the seals. And do you have a preference? Yeah, do you have a preference? Both, do you have a preference? Because I think I'm going to stick with the Tattler. Because I stick with Harvest Guard. Yeah, because you have a heavy investment in this. I have a heavy investment in this. I think I'm going to end up with like 300 lids of each, 300 and 300, and I think you're at 200 and 200. Yeah, so, or 100 and 100. I'm at 300 and 300. So we both have some investment in here to switch. So he's going to stick with his Harvest Guard. I'm going to stick with Tattler, except for the red lids. If they ever come back in stock, I'm going to get them, because I think that's really smart to do for tomato sauce. Anything that would stain. Yeah. So anyway, we hope you enjoyed this video. This is just our take. You know, take it for what it is. We're just, you know, I'm just a mom at home, and, you know, I just do a little of everything. Right? You know. So this is just our opinion. You don't have to agree, but let us know what you think down below. We thought this would be fun to do, and hopefully it would answer a lot of the questions that you guys had that, frankly, we couldn't answer before now. So this was fun. Yeah, and stay tuned. We might do another one. Yeah. For those of you who are not subscribed to Paul, up there is, I'm going to leave a link to his channel. Go subscribe to him, because he's going to be canning with Harvest Guards. So if you're interested in harvest guards, he's gonna be but he's a canning king. He's a canning king. So go subscribe to him if you love canning videos. But he's a wicked cook in the. I mean, he's taught me so much. You taught me how to make a pork chop.
I did.
I used to make shoe leather pork chops. Not kidding. Could not make a pork chop to save my life.
And with a freezer full of pork chops, that was a bad thing.
I know. I had a whole freezer full of pig, and I was like, I keep ruining all the pork chops. They just end up like shoe leather. And you taught me how to make a pork chop, and now
I'm a Jew who knew how to make a pork chop.
You did. All right, so go subscribe to Paul. You will absolutely love his channel, and we will be seeing you soon.
Bye.
All right, bye guys.